What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today it's kind of a commentary one, but I'm going to be talking about all of my favorites and all of my least favorites when it comes to Brawl Stars. We're going to go with brawlers and then my least favorite brawlers and then favorite skins and everything along those lines. Pretty much every category in the game, we're going to be talking about my favorites and my least favorites. We're going to do like top 1, 2, and 3 for everything. So my number 1 favorite brawler in the game is obviously Crow. If you guys didn't know, I got him like a month after beta, so I got him probably before like even 50 people had him, and it was pretty crazy because of course it was free to play. I randomly got a box before I even had like any epics in the game, which were actually rare at the time, but not as rare as now, so it's kind of weird. But like I got them way before anything else, and at this point like super rares weren't in the game or anything like that. It was extremely rare, even though it is now. I think it was even more rare at that time to get a legendary, and I managed to pull him. So I'll shove a screenshot on the screen right now for you guys to see that. It looks really old. You might not even recognize it at this point, but that's what it looks like. Number 2 is Mortis for obvious reasons. I really like fast brawlers. I actually didn't get Mortis until the Western theme was gone, but my friend let me borrow his account just to play as Mortis, and we kind of traded accounts because on a second account I got Spike, and on his account he got Mortis, so we kind of just like swapped accounts for a week and then swapped back just because we wanted to play with the brawlers. So I did get to play him before the update that changed all the UI, but I didn't actually get him until that update. I did get to feel what it was like to have him with really long range though, and I really miss that. That's never coming back at this point, I know it, but I really miss it because it was amazing. And my third favorite brawler is El Primo, and for another obvious reason, I got Meteor Rush, and it makes you extremely fast, and now that I have that, he's one of my favorites. And here goes for my top 3 least favorite brawlers. So it's kind of in a little bit of a category for really annoying brawlers that I don't think should be in the game, and there are more than this, but I'm only doing the top 3. So number 3 is Leon, and I don't think he should be in the game just because like he can go invisible and he can burst you down at any time in any match, and I really don't like that. And then we have Bibi, just because like her speed is insane. I think she does too much damage with her bat alone. If she did less damage, I think she would be fine, but for right now she can like 3 to 4 shot almost every brawler in the game, and it's pretty annoying to go against her. And my number 1 brawler that I do not want in the game, and honestly I should put a 4th because I really hate Gene too. That's like the number 4. I really don't like Gene. He should probably be higher, but Gene is on this list too. But number 1 is gonna be Tick, because oh my god dude, he is so annoying. He probably has the most range in the game. He can throw over walls, and he has the most area control in the game because his mines last forever, and he does a ton of damage. He doesn't really have any downsides besides his HP, but like you can just stay so far away because your range is so high and you have that much control. You can barely die as Tick, and he's just really annoying. I don't think he should be in the game. And now for my favorite and least favorite skins. My number 1 favorite skin in the entire game is going to be El Rudo, but only the updated one. I didn't really like the other one. I did a little bit, but not nearly as much as the updated one with the new entire model. I think that the new one looks really cool. It kind of glows in a way. It did in the Brawl Talk. It doesn't really in game, which is kind of disappointing, but either way, I still think it's a really good skin, and I highly recommend getting it even though the price went up. Number 2 is going to be Viking Bull, and I actually got this back when it was like 20 gems. Same goes for El Rudo, like way back, because for the past like 8 months or a year they were 30 gems, but I got them back when they were 20, like when they first came out, so I got a big discount on those. But Viking Bull with the remodel, I don't like the old one. I don't know why I bought the old one, but I really like the remodeled one, which actually came out a while ago. But I think it makes the character look a lot less dumb. I didn't really like how Bull looks, but with the skin I think it looks a lot better. And my third favorite skin in the entire game is gonna be White Crow, because again I got it right away because I got Crow right away, and it's kind of like a really OG skin for me. And now for my least favorite skins, we have Pirate Gene for number 3. I don't really know why, I just don't like it because it's Gene. That's really the only reason. I don't like Gene, so I don't like his skins either. And then we have number 2, which might swap out with number 1, I don't really know, but Night Witch Mortis. This is for obvious reasons. A lot of people didn't like this one. It's probably my least favorite, but it's definitely one of my least favorites. And swapping in between number 2 and 1 with Night Witch Mortis is gonna be the normal mecha bow, because this color scheme is really bad in my opinion. Like I think it's orange and white, and I really don't like that. Like if it was a different color scheme, then I would definitely like it more, but that's why we have light mecha bow and golden mecha bow, and not the normal one, because I barely ever see that one anyways. And now on to my top 2 favorite and least favorite modes in the entire game. My second favorite mode in the game is obviously Showdown. I feel like that's a lot of people's like first or second favorites, but just because you know it's been in here for the entire time. It's a pretty well balanced mode besides when you get teamed on, but besides that it's a pretty good mode. And my number 1 one favorite mode. This might change later, but for now it's Lone Star. I think it's a really cool mode. I think it's an upgrade from Showdown. The only complaints that I have, which are really big actually, is that the maps are terrible. Like if they chose better maps for the mode, then it would definitely be better. But when Island Invasion shows up, you know it's not going to be a fun time, because you will get bush camped every time you die. Like every time you die, it'll be to a Shelly, guaranteed, unless you're playing as Shelly. But in that map, if you have bad connection, you automatically lose if you're a Shelly against another Shelly, or anybody against a close range brawler, because you can't auto aim fast enough. If you have even like the slightest delay in the world on your screen, then you are gonna lose, just because you can't auto aim fast enough. And that's all that the map comes down to, is spamming auto aim. So if they can change the maps, then this mode will definitely last. But if they don't change the maps, then I feel like the mode will kind of die out in people's eyes, just because the mode doesn't work with those maps at all. And now my second least favorite mode in the entire game is going to be Siege, and I'm sure a lot of you agree. I've heard a lot of people complaining about Siege, and just a lot of people saying that they don't like it. Honestly, I don't think it should be in the game. I'd rather have it not in the game. I just don't like it at all. It comes down to a ton of RNG and the fact that if you control mid for one push, then you're pretty much guaranteed to win the game. I just don't really like that gameplay, because if you have a bad random and the enemy gets control for like a minute, only 1 minute, then you automatically lose. Anyways, on to my number one least favorite mode in the entire game, and I'm sure you guys are wondering, like, what could be worse than Siege? Number one is Duo Showdown. I don't know what it is, but I see more teamers on duos than I do on solos. But the teaming isn't like, you know, the spinning then they're teaming, but most of the time I'm getting cornered by all 4 other teams, and I can't do anything about it. That's why I never play duos. If I play it, we go in and we just get cornered by 3 teams, I'm done with that mode and I go on to solos. Like I would never play Duo Showdown for fun, because it's such a weird mode and none of the teams ever get taken out, by the way. Anytime I play it at high trophy games, like all 5 teams are alive when the circle is almost completely closed, and I just don't really like that, because it just comes down to like what team is gonna die off first by spamming auto aim on each other. I've never had like a clean fun match in Duo Showdown, so those are the reasons why I don't like that mode at all. And I only have like one real favorite map in the entire game, which is Rockwall Brawl. You might not even know what that is. I don't think it's in the game anymore, but it was a showdown map and I think it was really balanced and really good. It might be in the game, I'm not sure. If it comes up, then it is. If it doesn't, then it isn't. But it should be in the friendly game rotation. It's been in the game from the very beginning until I think they removed it. But my 2 least favorite maps in the entire game are both showdown maps, and there's a lot of other modes that have maps that I don't like, but specific ones are showdown maps, which one of them is Hot Maze. I'm sure a lot of you guys know that I don't like this map. A lot of people don't like this map. It's literally thrower haven. If you don't play as a thrower, then you're screwed. But the thing is, on that map, the meta switches, because it goes from throwers to mortis, and then when everybody starts playing mortis to counter the throwers, then people start playing as Shelly to counter the mortises, and then when people start playing Shellys, everybody starts playing the throwers again. So it's just a big vicious cycle in that map, and it doesn't belong in the game. And kind of tied with Hot Maze is Cavern Churn, another map that I absolutely don't like in the game. And to go along with that, it's Island Invasion, and they're both pretty much the exact same story, so I'll get through that right now. Both of these maps are like 70% bushes or even 80% bushes, and that just leads to everybody playing as either like Rico to bounce all over the place, or playing as Shelly. One or the other. If you don't play as either, then you lose. Maybe Bo, but Shelly is absolutely everywhere, and it's really annoying. Anyways though, that is gonna do it for the video. If you made it this far, then comment Gene is the big ugly. But anyways, with all that being said, I will see you guys later, and have a good night.